Hi everyone, in this video I'll show you how to install MySQL Server on Ubuntu machine, and I will also cover how to improve the security of MySQL installation and database instance. So let's get started. Open your terminal. First I'm going to update the system using the apt command line utility. Now to install MySQL Server, I'm going to use the same apt command line utility. It will take 241 megabyte additional disk space. So enter Y for yes. The installation is completed successfully. Now to see what version you have installed in your system, you can use this command. Next, check if MySQL instance is running. You can use systemctl is active command. If it's not active, you need to restart your system using the command systemctl space start space MySQL. As you can see, MySQL server is running. Now run this command to improve the security of MySQL installation. For setup validation password component, enter Y for yes, and the system will validate the strings of the password every time you create a new password before the execution of the create password command. Now, the first option that says low, it is not going to validate the complexity of the password characters, but it will validate the number of the characters. It has to be 8 or more than 8 characters. The second option, option 1, that says medium, it will validate the number of characters and the complexity of the password characters. It has to be 8 or more than 8 characters with the combination of numeric and mixed case and special characters. The third option, option 2, that says strong, it will validate the number of the characters, the complexity of the password characters, and dictionary file. I'm going to enter 1 for medium. Now remove anonymous users. Enter Y for yes. Disallow root login remotely. Enter Y for yes again. Remove test database and access to it. Enter Y again. Now it is going to reload privileged tables. Enter Y for yes, and the above changes will take effect immediately. Now log into MySQL instance with your sudo command. Now I'm going to create a root password, so I'm going to use alter user command. As you can see now, my new root password has been created. Now log out from here and log in again to my MySQL instance using your new root password. Next, I'm going to rename root user to admin. Now flash the privileges again. Now I'm going to create a new database, but first I'm going to see what databases are available in my instance. As you can see, I do not have user-defined database in my instance, so I'm going to create one new database. Now if I execute the previous command again, as you can see, my new database is now visible. Next, I'm going to create a new user and grant privilege on test database to this user. But before I create my user, I would like to see list of all my users. As you can see, I do not have a regular user in my database, so I'm going to create one regular user. Now, if I run the previous command, you can see now my user 1 is created. Next, I'm going to grant all on test database to my new user, user 1. Now, the next step is to install my MySQL-Workbench so that I will have access to the graphical interface. So open your terminal and run this command. Now the installation has been done successfully. Now open MySQL-Workbench from your desktop. You should see MySQL-Workbench icon on your desktop. Now I'm going to remove this connection. And to create a new connection, click this plus sign. Now you can name your connection. Leave all default as is, but you need to change the username. In my case, user1. And enter the password for the user you have created. Now if I test the connection, as you can see, the connection has been created successfully. Under the administration tab here, if I click here client connections, he cannot see any client connections other than his connection. If I click these users and privileges, still he cannot see any privilege for other users. Now click this right arrow key. As you can see, he only can see his database. Now if you go to the home tab here and create another connection, and this time I'm going to use admin connection, my admin. Click test connection and enter the password for the root. As you can see, the connection has been created successfully. Click OK. Click OK here as well. Now under the administration tab, if I click clients connections tab, it is visible. And if I click users and privileges tab, the root user can see regular and system users and privileges. If I click schema tab, as you can see, he has full access to both system and user defined database objects. As you can see, the root user has full access to the administration and schema tab. Thank you for watching.